Hello and welcome to part 1 of the tutorial for posting a letter in Java. Please look at the wiki, the link is in the description, as this demonstration video works very closely with the wiki, and the wiki contains a lot more detailed information about everything that is going on as we continue. So I'm just going to create classes. There we go, new class. We'll begin with start. And then I just type in the name of the class that I want there. There we go, accept all the defaults and so on, and I've repeated it for all of the classes. I move them around to get them approximately into order. On a project this size it probably doesn't make much difference, but on a large project it can help you keep your mind clear and easily see what's going on. And there you go. Because the screenshots can be quite small, I show an enlarged version. Now we're going to populate start. BlueJ puts a default template in, which is a good place to get you started and going. Sorry about the pun on start. We're going to delete most of what it's done, but we will keep the constructor. A constructor is a special function which is run whenever a class is actually created. There we go, we'll delete that example member function, we'll delete X because we're not using X, and again we'll delete X up there. We are going to use an envelope, so we'll put envelope in. Now I'm going to start it with lowercase e envelope. A common naming convention is to use lowercase l, uppercase e envelope, meaning local envelope. It's just whatever you prefer. And I'm going to define it as null. Now null just says, all it says is I'm going to have an envelope. I haven't actually got one yet, but I'm going to have one. And there you can see I've moved to the constructor. I'm typing in envelope again, and this time I'm using the word new. New means I've actually got an envelope now. So I've really got one. Not just I'm going to have one, now I've actually got one. Just put some comments in. You'll see in here I can use a single line comment by // or you can see that it's pre-populated with another comment block which is / and then it ends in */ The double asterisk, by the way, is just a documentation convention. We'll come on to that another time. It's called Java Doc. You don't need to worry about that. There you go. Large version to make it easier for you to see. Open up envelope. And you'll see BlueJ has done its thing. It's used its template. So we'll get rid of X. And we're going to have a stamp. And again I'm going to assign it to null. There's actually a good reason why I'm using null. I could just say here stamp equals new, like I did in the constructor, but in more complex examples values can be passed around, and so I prefer to do it this way and actually initialize it when I need it. It saves confusion that way. You can see stamp equals new stamp, letter equals a new letter. There we go, and I'll get rid of that example BlueJ put in for me. Click up there, save. That just saves the local file. Now I'll do the same for letter. Exactly the same as before, but this time a letter contains paper. There you go. You should be able to guess what I'm going to type in there. Well, you probably didn't guess I was going to make a typing mistake there. I'll come back and fix that in a moment. But you can see that it's marked it, the editor's marked it with a red square in the corner just to highlight the mistake. I'd like to say I did that deliberately to demonstrate that feature, but sadly that was a genuine mistake. It did give a chance to show that quite nicely to you. There we go. Now when we come back, you'll notice there are lines now on the drawing, and I'm going to save the project. So the saves that we did before saved individual files. Now I'm going to save the project, and you can see why I laid them out. Those lines look nice and neat, and it's very easy to see how everything relates to each other. Now what did I forget to do in main? Or actually I didn't forget, I deliberately didn't do it. Do any of you remember main from Hello World? Every program needs a main, otherwise it doesn't know where to start. So we're going to put a main in, exactly the same as we did in Hello World. And just because main is contained in the class start doesn't mean start actually exists. Start is just a holder for main. So I'm going to have to create start, just as I did, I created, sorry, not an envelope, sorry, no, start, yes. Getting myself confused there. And you can see I've gone to my natural instinct of using L start, but there we go. The reason I have to do that is just because start contains main, start doesn't actually exist until I do that new. And I'll just type in some comments. On a project this size, comments are fairly pointless. But if you think about real projects, they can be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lines of code with many people working on them. And you might write a piece of code and come back a year later having to update it. So having comments there can help you remember or tell someone else what you were thinking at the time. There we go. You see that there. Now what we've covered in this article are constructors, new, class, null, and comments. And as I've said before, there's the link to the wiki. The wiki is also in the description, and I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, found it helpful, and please subscribe to the channel. I'm making videos quite often, and hopefully see you again soon. Thanks for your time.